Be honest. Are your company values and AI aligned? Regulators, expect experts, and AI vendors talk a lot about alignment, the degree to which an AI model conforms to your values. But enterprises are still coming to terms with the what or whose values should be prioritized. In 2003, Oxford University professor Nick Bostrom asked what happens if you ask a smart AI to make as many paper clips as possible. Say, a paperclip manufacturer's CEO deployed an AI with no guardrails, checks, or balances, and asked it to apply its super intelligence to the paperclip problems. According to the Bostrom, the AI starts transforming first all of Earth, and then an increasing portion of space into paperclip manufacturer's facility. But even an innocuous instruction like be helpful can cause problems if the AI helpfully assists a hacker to break into corporate systems or give discounts if not supposed to give. We've already seen many examples of corporate AIs not performing as intended. Late last year in California, for instance, ChatGPT-powered chatbot promised a Chevrolet of a Watsonville customer a 2024 Chevy Tahoe for $1, adding, and that's a legally binding offer. No takes backs. The dealer didn't honor the chatbot offer, but in a similar case involving a Air Canada discount, the customer sued. Whether the court found the company had to honor the AI promise. Obviously, accuracy is biggest problem here. The chatbots are giving false information to customers, but there's also a question of core values. Whose interest is the chatbot putting first? The customer they are interacting with or the company deploying the chatbot? May each vendor who made it. So can we CIOs do about this? Hopefully, no company or government will create an AI that does have don't destroy the whole planet as one of its core values, and whether it does or not. That's a question for ethicists and a government regulator, not CIOs deploying enterprise AI solutions. This is something I worry about, says Derek Levin, professor at Carnegie Mellon University Tepper School of Business. When I teach MBA students, we are more worried about the risks of AI in the here and now. For enterprises, this means understanding their interest, perhaps competing with those of other firms in the market, vendors, and customers. You want to make sure that the AI system is promoting your interest rather than the interest of computer firms, he said. But at the same time, you want the AI to be respectful of consumer interest and competitors' interest as well. It's a fine balance. You want it to work, he said. And this is the kind of alignment problem we should try to develop the solution for. And when an AI is coming from a vendor that has interests which are different from its customers, this can be a challenge, he adds. It's a difficult question and I don't have any good answer, Levan said. In the long term, what we want is to have a more leverage about these kind of behaviors a model is producing. But options for an enterprise customer can be limited in terms of changing the way each vendors do business, especially if those vendors have significant market power. There's only so much you can do with the prompt if a model has been heavily trained go against your interest. Say J.J. Lopez Murphy, head of data science and AI at a software development company, Globant. It's an issue that's not easy to solve, but there are some steps CIOs can take to help protect their companies, including identifying alignment risk, continuously monitoring model outputs, putting guardrail in place, and building a model diagnostic infrastructures. And the earlier they start, the more power they will have. Not all alignment risks are equal. Business leaders understand the value of doing AI the right way, ethically, transparently, and responsibly. Nobody wanted their company to be the one whose AI destroys the world or teaches their customer how to make poison gas. According to an Avanade survey, over 3,000 business and IT executives released in late 2023, 48% have put in place in a complete set of policies for responsible AI, and one company that's all in a Blue Cross Blue Shield Michigan, the state's largest HM with more than 10,000 employees and $36 billion in annual revenues. We've committed through our board of directors to AI principles, said Bill Fandrishi. The company, the EVP of Technology and Operations, for example, said an model can't make a decision on a person's access to healthcare. A human has to be making that decision. There are also guidelines for transparency, security, and third-party AI. If you are a vendor using AI, we need to understand what you're doing, he said. If it affects our members or customers, we need to know. Everybody wants to go fast, he adds, but if the foundation isn't in place, it's difficult to do so effectively and impossible to scale. A lot of people want to skip those foundational elements, but if you are not mature in those things, your ability to get value is very limited, he said. So we've been investing in that. There's also an opportunity for public sectors to make a difference. I'm a strong believer that we desperately need government and other regulatory bodies to put the right guidelines in place at Fendrihi. But for companies in non-regulated field or those only deploying the Gen AI in low-risk use cases, the situation can be very different. In fact, according to an April Deloitte survey of nearly 2,000 business leaders, 72% said their organization trust in the forms of AI has increased since the Gen AI merged in late 2022. Another survey released in May by the Coleman Parks, conducted on behalf of Alteryx, showed that out of 2,000 global AI leaders, only 5% said that they saw significant negative impact from Gen AI, possibly because the early deployment focused on the lowest risk use cases, of which there are plenty where the risk of alignment conflict is relatively small. Say, for example, a marketing team is using a LLM to summarize an article and a human reviews to work. Say Priya Iragavalapu, a review of a data science and analytic and a grade, a management consulting firm, then I don't think we need to worry so much about the LLM itself being fully aligned with your organization and culture, he said. She said. But if the Gen AI is deeply embedded into core business process and therefore operate without a human not oversight, then the risk is high, she said, that the alignment needs to be meticulously considered. Transparency and accountability. A matter alignment starts with its training data, the weight and how was it fine-tuned. This information is typically not available at all for proprietary commercial platforms like OpenAI. Even on open source matters, not all of them make the information public. The biggest challenge is the lack of transparency, said Ilaga Valapu. If I don't know what data the model was trained on, or fine tuning that was done on the model, I wouldn't trust it to be in alignment with my company values. The AI does have a point of view over discriminatory intent, as Dave Prakashi, head of AI governance of the Booz Allen Hamilton. It's just an equation, he said. It's just a method of statistics. But even with the best of intentions, an AI can produce some unfortunate result. The Prakash himself started out as a doctor, and he's seen plenty of examples of this in the medical field. For example, a large insurance company used the cost of healthcare as the basis of an algorithm to evaluate severity. It was putting African Americans at a lower severity score than a much healthier white American, he said. Because some subpopulations don't have the same access to care, they work multiple jobs, don't have health insurance, don't rack up the same medical bills. But it can be difficult to figure out what's going on inside an AI model when it's a black box commercial system. One place enterprise customers can start is by looking at the vendor history. What else had they done? Have they respected privacy or have they been transparent in what they do? There are questions CIOs should ask as well, like how to audit an LLM to see its degree of bias, and how well does it comply with the executive orders on AI from Washington or the EU AI Act. It's not always been. It's not always been easy to find this information. Parker said that the tools needed to determine some of those things are still under development. I look forward to the day when they efficiently audit these models for our values, he said. Regulators and nonprofit vendor groups and industry groups are just beginning to work on these issues. Each and everyone interested to create a standard because it gives people confidence in order to adopt these technologies, she said. Standards are a great opportunity for both the vendor and the end user. And an autonomous AI agent system powered by Gen AI that goes beyond the simple use cases and achieves the complex goals. Start to see many adoptions. Transparency and accountability are going to be even more important. This system can create a plan for reaching a goal, delegate a task, check if those tasks have been completed successfully, adapt and iterate until the goal is reached. That requires numerous calls to AI. Even the small alignment issues can escalate quickly, so companies have to learn to evaluate the collective performance of these autonomous systems. We are looking at the risk they pose, Prakash said. That's not to say what we can eliminate all risk. Nothing worth doing is without risk. But anyone with a modicum of ethics and a sense would spend some time evaluating this technology before deploying it. The fine-tuning and the guideline. Even when companies use commercial AI vendors, they are not completely locked into what vendors want the model to do. Even the black box vendors like OpenAI allows enterprise to fine-tuning their LLMs, which allows companies to find the training data in Q&A form. It's kind of like training a new employee by giving them the employee of the how to do things, says Alexei Ilagavalapu. With a new person, you hire them for their skills, she said. But when you onboard them, you explain to your culture and how you do things so new person can work within that understanding. So this is onboarding of your LLMs and is crucial for organizations and enterprises. Fine-tuning these data set the size of the between 0.5% and 1% of a model's original data set in order to meaningfully impact models, she said. With GPT-4 reportedly coming in over a trillion parameters, even 1% is a large amount, but the enterprises don't need to consider the entire data set when fine-tuning. You can't say that you've written 10 questions and answered and fine-tuned a model and claimed it's now fully compliant with my organization's values. Iragavarapu says, but you also don't have to fine-tune everything. You only have to on a specific business process or culture. It's really out digging in deep into a small area of concept and not addressing the entire breadth of the LLM. With the right fine-tuning, it's possible to overcome a model, the core alignment, she said, and to find out if the fine-tuning has worked, the LLM needs to be tested on a large number of questions, asking the same things in many different ways. So far, there isn't a good automated way to do this, or open source LLM data in this specifically to test the alignment of other models, but there's definitely a crucial need for it. As a simple Q&A, we use cases involved into autonomous AI-powered agent. This kind of testing will become absolutely necessary. Every organization needs the tool right now. Iragavalapu says. The vendor lock-in. When a company has no choice but to use a particular AI vendor, the maintaining alignment will be a constant battle. If the deal is embedded in Windows, for example, you might not have the control, say Globant and Lopez Murphy, but the task is a lot simpler if it is to switch to a different vendor, an open source project, or a home-built LLM. Having options helps keep providers honest and put power back in the hands of the enterprise buyer. Globant itself has its integrated layer and AI middleware that allows the company to easily switch between models. It can be a commercial LLM, he said, or something you want locally, or something AWS Bedrock. And some organizations roll their own models. That's why the real government want to have their own sovereign AI so they are not relying on the sensibilities on some Silicon Valley company, said Lopez Murphy. And it's not just the government that require a high degree of the control the AI they use. Blue Cross Blue Shield Michigan, for example, has some high-risk AI use cases involving cybersecurity, contract analysis, and answering the question about member benefits. Because these are very sensitive areas and highly regulated, the company built its AI systems in-house in a secure and controlled and dedicated cloud environment. We do everything internally, said Vendrici. We teach and control the models in private segmented part of the network, and then decide how and whether to move them into a production. Thank you for your time today. I read a article. Be honest, are your company values and AI aligned? Thank you again, and see you next time.